Donald Trump's new plan is so Orwellian, and this time Orwellian is the right term. It is hard to believe that it is not a parody. Trump has announced a terrifying assault on free speech. The government wants to read your social media, not if you're applying to come to the country, but if you're already here legally. This is not just surveillance. This is a political weapon, and it is happening right now. So here's the latest stunning move. What the Trump administration is now pushing is a new policy that would force immigrants who are already here legally in the United States. We're talking about people applying for green cards, seeking asylum, people here legally, to hand over their social media accounts to be scrutinized by Trump's administration. So this is not about border control. This is about punishing dissent. It's the reason I wouldn't go to North Korea or Russia. Now, I know it's plausible that if I went to Russia, I'd be fine. North Korea, I'm not so sure. But my more than a decade of posting and talking about certain regimes makes me cautious about stepping into North Korea or Russia for fear that it might be weaponized against me. That's something many of us say, yes, it happens in North Korea. Yes, it happens in Russia. But what Trump is saying is that it's going to start happening here in the United States. Now, if you ask Trump's team about it, they say, oh, this is all for national security purposes. They cite an executive order called Protecting the United States from Foreign Terrorists. But practically speaking, it is a digital dragnet. It's pulling in tweets and excretions from X, posts, profiles of people who have already passed a background check, who've followed the law. And it's important to remind ourselves that this is not new in terms of the hostility to free speech when it's inconvenient. When I have said before, believe people when they tell you what they're going to do. Maybe they'll fail to do it, but believe them when they say this is what I'm going to try to do. Our friend Luke Beasley posted a video today in response to Trump's crackdown on free speech. Does this track record from Trump, remember these clips? Does this sound like a guy who respects free speech? Not to me, but you tell me.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. MSNBC, which is a threat to democracy, actually. CNN and MSDNC, they're really corrupt and they're illegal. Criminals back there, the press, look at them, look how many of them. And these newspapers are really no different than a highly paid political operative. It has to be illegal. To get me, somebody would have to shoot through the fake news, and I don't mind that so much. MSNBC is, I think, probably worse. And they're both doing horribly in the ratings. I think they're going to be turned off. Who are you with? NBC. Oh, no wonder. That's enough. NBC. I don't want to talk to NBC anymore. I think you're so discredited.
Are you patriotic? Because what is being patriotic if not the First Amendment?
Right. And so can we really be shocked that they are doing this now? Now, of course, civil rights groups are sounding the alarm, warning that this would be extraordinarily chilling when it comes to free expression. Public comments submitted to U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services are saying that this is a violation of the First Amendment, and they're not wrong. This is about intimidation. This is not about security. And this is also not happening in isolation, because at the same time, we are hearing that the IRS is reportedly preparing to share private tax data with ICE to try to track certain people down. This is all an unprecedented breach of taxpayer privacy. So the Trump administration isn't just going after undocumented immigrants anymore. It's going after legal residents. It's going after visa holders, green card applicants, people who live here and work here and pay taxes here. And they are being told, if you want to stay in this country, we get access to your social media, and that means all of it. This is not about protecting the country. This is about silencing critics. It's about weaponizing immigration policy to suppress political speech. So the war on immigrants is no longer just about walls and deportations. It now includes surveillance and censorship and fear. And the worst part is that if this policy succeeds, it's not going to stop with immigrants. And the natural next step, and I really don't, I'm doing everything I can not to be hyperbolic. And I don't want to skip right to the end. But if we're told this is going to be everything we're doing will be about so-called criminal illegals, people who are here illegally, but they've done more. They are accused of a serious crime, have been convicted. That's where it started. Then it went to, well, we're going to go beyond that, and it's just going to be anybody who's here undocumented. And then it's going to go beyond that. It's going to be, well, what if you're here but on a green card or legally on a visa and awaiting a status change that you've applied for? Now it's expanding to that. The natural progression is that the social media surveillance and crackdowns go beyond that. And the natural next step is going to be non-immigrants, just natural born Americans. Not trying to be hyperbolic, but trying to be realistic. It continues expanding. Why wouldn't we fear that it will expand further? Let me know what you expect. info@davidpakman.com. Let's take a quick break. So much to talk about today. After researching, writing, refining, The Echo Machine, my book, is finally out. This is not just a book about how American politics got so broken. It's also about what's happening right now and what we can still do to stop things from getting worse. Trump's been back in power. The results have been even more catastrophic than many feared, with targeting of political opponents and gutting democratic institutions, laying the groundwork to even further consolidate power. But the thing is that none of this is inevitable. The same forces that brought us here can be countered if we understand how they work and what to do about them. And that's what The Echo Machine is all about. Some say that without corporate media backing, books like this can't succeed. I think we can prove them wrong. You can get The Echo Machine right now at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, or by calling any local bookstore and asking them to order it. This book is more important than ever. If you care about what happens next, and I do, check out The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo.